Okay, now long-term growth investment strategies. Please pardon me for all the disclaimer. Okay, so now it's very important to actually share. Okay, please don't take as recommendation. And a lot of things that I mentioned is my own personal belief, which may or may not be correct, lah. Okay, end of the day, nobody can foretell future than better than anybody else. So it's my personal belief, and I chose to invest in my belief, lah. Okay, and this is very high risk. This is very high risk. So please don't just focus on the conclusion. Please focus on the thinking process. Okay, thinking process. So that is what I want to illustrate to you. So later if I say Tesla is good, okay, please don't just go away saying that, okay, Tesla is good, okay, but focus on things like, okay, how do I come up with the justification that Tesla is good? Then of course with this process, how you can actually go and find good stocks, stocks that you think you're good yourself. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, if you actually want to do growth, okay, one very important risk mitigating measure is you must allocate your asset out front clearly. So this is what I do. Okay. As you can see here, most of my money actually still in income portfolio. So what is income portfolio? Okay, basically it is the methodology I preach in class. Buy, hold, collect dividend, full stop. Okay, 70% of my money are doing that, exactly what I preach in class. So please don't think that, oh, what I do and what I preach very differently. So 70% of my money, okay, I just park in a portfolio whereby I have no intention of selling. After I buy, I don't even remember the purchase price, or at least I don't deliberately go and record my purchase price. So what I do is I just buy whole, as long as it can just help me churn dividend, I'm very happy. The only reason why I sell is I am worried that it cannot generate dividend anymore. Okay, 70% of money actually doing that. So I do, if let's say for example, if I continue this income strategy, I can probably achieve my objective. Okay, maybe just to make sure you all can remember. So anyone can remember what is my objective or not? In terms of numbers, how much money am I trying to accumulate? Okay, I've actually said that many times during preview. 7K per month. Thank you so much. And how much, roughly how much in total? If I want 7K per month, roughly how much? Okay, or 2 million man? No lah. Is it 2 million? 1.4 lah. I think it's more like 1.4. Okay. Oh, it's actually more like 1.4. 1.4 million. 1.4 million. Okay. So if I were to just continue my income strategy, that means what? Every month, I got my income, I just go and buy, then I get dividend. I probably can achieve this 1.4 or 7,000 per month when I hit 65 lah. Okay, 65. Also very comfortable. So the thing is, of course, as a full-time investor, I also have a bit of time, and what I want to do is I want to accelerate the process. Okay, I hope to achieve earlier. So if I want to achieve this 1.4 earlier, or if I actually want to actually get what do you call it, the $7,000 per month faster, then I have to take higher risk. So I calculated, I think I can afford to take the risk. So this is why I decided to spend 30% in a growth portfolio. Growth portfolio. Okay. 30% in a growth portfolio. So the point I'm trying to put across here is this: please don't take risks for the sake of taking risks. Please don't take risks for the sake of greed. So there must be a very clear reason why are you taking the additional risk. Okay, like in my case, if this part of my growth portfolio, if they perform well, hey, instead of 65, I can achieve it at 60, 55, quite good. Correct, right? Um, and if let's say this part don't perform, I still can achieve it at 65. Okay, so since I have time, yeah, so that's why I do it. Okay. um um like I said, this is a very important point. Yeah. Okay. Don't just take risks for the sake of taking risks. Okay. Know what you are doing. Also, the other part is, of course, this part is quite time consuming, especially the active trading partner. Okay. It's quite time consuming. Okay. So again, if you think that you cannot afford the time, may not be something suitable for you as well. Huh? Okay, 1.4 million exclude the value property that you stay. That is correct. Yes, Indra. So the more the better. No lah, no. Okay, Dinesh, no. The more the better, very dangerous. Then you end up gambling already. 1.4 million includes CPF. Okay, I don't think I want to go into details of that 1.4. So that was actually being discussed ago already. So that's not the point for today. Yep. So Dinesh, be careful. So end of the day, don't be greedy. The more the better. Okay. This is the exact mindset that you lose everything. Okay, so be very clear. I've actually done that during my preview. So of course, again, if you cannot recall, you can just trace back in the financial planning videos. So this is my 70%. Okay, all my growth portfolio, as you can see here, I differentiate the two parts. One part is a long-term growth strategy, which I'll talk about it very soon, and only 10% in active trading. Okay, I will actually talk about it very soon. Now, how I actually allocate them. Okay, so it's very good to have clear allocation. So to me, what I do here is this 70% of money, I actually invest them with one broker. Okay. This 20% I invest them in another broking account, separate broking account. This 10% I actually invest them in a separate broking account. So try not to mix them together. Okay, very important. Okay, so once you mix them, very troublesome. So if you can, the best is even different bank account. So like for example, the dividend go to one bank account. Okay, the money here come from another bank account. This one and bank account. Of course, that one is a bit extreme. But at the very least, what you can do is different brokerage account. So now I think I probably have about 6 to 7 brokerage accounts. Okay, so it's a very good way to hide money. So I think I've said the joke so many times already. So anyway, this is one through one brokerage account. This one I think I did it through Maybank Kim Eng. This one I actually do it with Lim and Tan. Okay, different brokerage account. This one I'm actually doing it with Tiger account. So it's very clear. Um, the objective is very clear lah. Okay, objective is very clear so that there isn't any mix up. So like what is the most classic case here is this. So people say that, oh, I'm a growth investor, but after I buy the price drop, or this is actually an income stock. No lah, no, don't do that lah. Okay, that is very bad excuse. So if you lose money, then you should just cut and move on. Okay, don't try to be very clear on what are the individual objective is. Okay. Now let's talk about my long-term growth strategy first. So like I said, this the 20% portion, this one. Okay, let me talk about this first, the long-term 20%. Now, be very clear what you're trying to achieve. So in my case, what I want to achieve is 100% capital gain within the next 5 years. Okay, so which is, a simple calculation is about targeting 20% per annum, but usually it don't work this way. So sometimes the stocks can be like, for the next 4 years, nothing happened. Then the fifth year, suddenly pop up, pump. Okay, 100% gain. Okay, so it's not about annually 20%. Okay, get the difference. That means within next 5 years, 100%. Okay, question. If let's say, for example, I buy the stock today $1. Wow, somehow market tomorrow crazy. Tomorrow already 100%. I don't need to wait for 5 years. Tomorrow already 100%. So sell or don't sell? Okay, just 1 day later, the stock price increased by 100%. So sell or don't sell? Thank you so much. Sell. Okay, sell. Okay, that's what I do. Okay, maybe sometimes what I do is a little bit greedy. I sell half, then keep the other half. But yes, I sell is for growth purpose. It's not for dividend purpose. Okay, so please take note. It's not that I die must hold for 5 years. Okay, this is the objective lah. Then of course a very common question is this, what if after 5 years later the price you don't move? Okay, so it will really depends on the company lah. So end of the day, when the price grow, okay, I think some of my the student have been meeting for a while. So what is the reason for the price to grow, or when we actually look at growth stocks, what is the main thing that we are looking for? Can someone help me here? So what is, when we look for growth stocks, what is the main thing that we're actually looking for, or what is the driver for growth? Okay, no, not the answer I'm looking for. No. Thank you so much. Growth story. Growth story. When you actually want to look for growth, it's the growth story that matters. So let's say, for example, 5 years later, still don't grow. I have to recheck back with the growth story. Growth story. Okay. So thank you so much. So basically, to spot growth stock, the key thing here is the growth story. Growth story. So just to give you some analogy, like for example, we talk about human, person. So let's say, in terms of person growth is, let's say, salary growth lah. If let's say this person is 70 years old, have been working the same job for the past 50 years, okay, is it likely for his income or salary to grow or not? Yes or no? And he actually chose to do the same job for the next 5 years. Is it likely for his income or salary to grow? Okay, this person 70 years old, for the past 50 years have been on the same job and has no intention to change, still want to keep the same job. Is it likely for him to increase his income for the next 5 years? Yes or no? Okay, and I think answer is quite obvious. No. So if let's say, for example, if you actually want to spot a person whereby likely income to growth, okay, what is the person profile is going to be like? Like probably maybe a younger, okay, then after that doing things like, for example, go and take CFA exams, go and take MBA, go and explore China, okay, every day keep thinking about expanding the team, okay, so there must be a growth story lah. Fair, right? You cannot just do everything as usual and then hope that your income will grow. So that is what wishful thinking. So same, companies and human is the same. So as let's say, as a human, you want to grow your income, and all you have to do is do exactly you did last year. Obviously, your income is not going to grow. Okay, all of us will be thinking like, oh, wow, next year I want to increase my income by 20%. But what you want to do? I want to do exactly as last year. I want to work like last year. I keep the same job as last year. Then of course income is not going to grow. But if let's say, for example, or you say, okay, I want to go and take MBA. I want to go and upskill. You want to use my skill futures. Okay, I want to explore China. I want to, bring my product overseas. Then there is a potential to increase your income. Okay. So the growth story is the key when we actually want to invest in growth stock. So you can see this is very different from income stock. So when I actually want to invest in income stock, I'm actually looking for a very stable business. Year in, year out, I don't expect the income to grow much. Of course, if you grow, I'll be very happy lah. Doesn't mean that if it's grow, it's not income stock. Okay. So, but I'm looking for that kind of business. Year in, year out, income about the same. Very stable business, stable income, so I get steady dividends. Okay, so our growth, I'm looking at a growth story. So Karen asked a question. What if 100% but keep growing with strong? Okay, do you still sell? So usually this kind of situation, I sell half lah, Karen. Okay, sell half, keep half lah. And again, it depends on the growth story lah. Okay, depends on growth story. I also look at the valuation metrics as well. So if let's say, for example, the PE is way above 25. So after 100% increase, the P is way above 25. Let's say be 50, 60. Then of course I sell. Okay. So valuation and the growth story, okay, it matters. Okay. So you can see here, 6 tests. I try to invest in stocks that pass the 6 tests. I put the word preferably here because sometimes no choices. So far not too bad. I still can find growth stock, very nice growth story that actually pass the 6 tests. But if let's say, I think I spelled pass wrongly. Sorry, pardon me. Then if let's say, for example, if it doesn't, okay, it depends. So far, I try to avoid it, try to avoid it. But end of the day, there is no perfect scenario. Okay, like I said, this is high risk. Okay, PE, the P, the lower is actually cheaper. So you can see I'm actually happy to take up to 25. Usually for income stock, I won't go above 20. So growth stocks, I can go uh to 25. Again, like I said, so far I can find stocks below 25. If let's say sometimes P is higher, 30 times, yep, I may still consider lah. So it really depends on the story that I'm actually looking at. Also, my point here is this: for growth stock, the key is growth story. Okay, this is the key criteria I'm looking at. I must like the growth story. Not goals, not goals, sorry, growth story. Okay, these two will be good to have. These are good to have. Currently, I can find stocks that meet all these three. Obviously, I go for them. Yeah lah. But what I'm trying to say here is this: if let's say the story I like it so much, but didn't pass these two, I may still go for the stock, but it's high risk. End of the day, this is a high risk activity. Okay. Now, down here, I just want to give some examples of what do I story. Okay, so again, I'm going to mention names. Okay, I'm repeating disclaimer again. Okay, so please, it's the thinking process that matters. So I just talk about some SG example first. Okay, like for example, okay, I know this stock hasn't been performing very well, but like I said, I'm using a 5-year horizon. Yeah, I'm using a fire horizon. So where usually do we find growth story? So again, hopefully someone can help me answer. Where is a place for you to read about growth story? Anyone can help me here? Where can you find growth story? Chairman message. Thank you so much. Chairman statement. Thank you so much. So I think this is my favorite example. I still use it. So Raffles Medical. Why I caught the first time I caught it is actually because yeah lah, it's my family hospital lah. So my mom actually use this hospital. So um every time I have when I sometimes I have to bring my mom there. Every time I go there, I must tell myself must make some money back lah. Even the car park is so expensive. I don't even talk about the medical bills. Even the car park alone is actually so expensive. Okay, so say cannot, must make some money back. So that's how I stumble upon this stock. So when I read the chairman statement, very interesting. They are expanding very aggressively into China. So you can see here, this is the most recent annual report. That means we are talking about 2023. So the hospital is now in Beijing, Shanghai, Chongqing. And they started operations, as you can see. Then the Raffles brand is recognized by the Chinese people as a trusted group of physicians, nurses, providing compassionate evidence-based healthcare. So they are also doing telemedicine. You can see in 14 cities of Asia. So basically, they are expanding aggressively out of Singapore. Okay, so to me, healthcare, and I'm quite sure you all know Singapore, there's a brand. When we go out of Singapore, there's a brand. So especially for healthcare, people will think that wow, okay, these guys are probably doing a very good job. Like that's why our medical tourism is doing so well. People actually fly in to actually see our doctors here. So I believe that healthcare, there's a brand going out, and they are aggressively expanding. So you can see that the pie is going to be so huge. So this is my belief lah. Okay, this is my belief. Of course, if anybody got more information, please share. But this is my belief. Okay, and they already started their hospital operations. Now, I just want to let you look at some numbers here. So this is actually from the annual report. I go down by sector. You can see that in terms of assets, okay, in terms of asset, okay, now in China, they already invested half of what they have in Singapore. So can you imagine, like for every $2 of asset Singapore has, now China has $1. Can you see? Okay, in terms of asset, about there, about there. So in Singapore, your hospitals, blah blah blah, so and so forth, is about 684 million. In China, they have already invested about 339 million. Okay, but in terms of the revenue, or I put it this way, I take revenue per asset. Okay, So $1 of Singapore asset is generating 92 cents. Can you see? Of revenue. Okay. $1 of um Singapore asset generating 92 cents. While in China, $1 of asset is only generating 17 cents. Can you see? So I basically take this 59324 divide by this number 339. Okay. So of course, China just started. I believe that there is a what they call a gestation period. It will take a while for the income to grow lah. So assuming that China, in terms of revenue per set, is going to be same as Singapore, can you see so much? There's actually going to be so much more revenue going to come in. All this assumption, all this is my own prediction, but at least there is a reason, okay? They are actually doing something which you ask me that can lead to potential increase in revenue, lah. Okay, so what I'm trying to demonstrate here is this: if you actually want to look for growth, you have to look for a reason. If let's say this company do exactly the same, only have Singapore asset, don't invest in China, and just say that, oh, we will grow because everybody will start growing, so then I won't be interesting. But to me, you can see that, wow, they already started their operation in China. Not easy, okay, for information, or at least to what I know, to set up a healthcare business in China is not easy. The number of licensing and things like that, I heard it's quite crazy. Okay. Um, and they already started, and if let's say using Singapore base, there is a chance for their revenue to grow by another 4 times, about 4 times. Wow, so that is quite a huge significant increase in revenue. So I have found a reason why this may grow. But of course, in actual fact, will it grow or not? I don't know. I don't know. But I'm willing to take the risk. Okay, Ken, any questions? So I just want to um um share with you the thinking process why I think this is a growth stock. So I hope this is the thinking process you have. Okay, don't just buy because you think that everybody is buying. So grow, why will grow? So for a stock to grow, you need the revenue, the income to grow. Also, like in this case, there is a chance for the income to grow. Why? Because they are China, they invested, but the revenue haven't come in yet. Okay. So some question, chairman, CEO different. Yes, chairman and CEO is different. So if you actually look at annual report, the way they package it is the chairman statement. Okay, likely is the same lah. You cannot have CEO one vision, chairman another statement. No lah, no. Also, in terms of presentation in annual report, they call them a chairman statement. The chairman is the one that set the vision. Okay, CEO is the one that execute the vision. Okay, they will have the same vision. So okay, so of course, yeah lah, some annual report they talk about chairman statement, then CEO statement. If you like, you can read both lah, but the vision will be aligned. One cannot be different. Okay. Raffles Medical, thank you so much for sharing. How isn't how executing more important? Mickey, like I said, the vision is the same, it's aligned. So of course, if you are able to uh analyze the execution capability, so it's good, but how do we know whether the CEO is he able to carry out? Unless you know him in person. If not, as a retail investor, no choice. This is what we have, but at least we know that they have a vision. Okay. So again, no, I'm not saying that CEO. Okay, so in terms of presentation, CEO usually don't talk about vision. It's the chairman that talk about the vision. But yep. So I'll just read the chairman statement. Okay, Ken, thank you so much. You seriously do that? You sure or not? Don't bluff. Okay, but anyway, yeah, of course, if you can, we should. We should lah. But end of the day, as I want to be realistic here lah. Usually, I buy, I park money there, and then I wait for 5 years. To be very frank, that's what I do lah. That's what I do. So unless I see certain crisis, I just wait for 5 years. Okay. Uh, okay, so again, SM, would RMG become too stretched with their aggressive expansion and share acceptance? Sorry, that I don't know lah. That I don't know. Of course, if you want to find out, you can. Okay, you have to keep digging lah. But at the point of me buying, if you, I just have to accept that this is a high risk. Okay, you don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers upon buying. Okay, but yep. Sorry, SM, I don't have an answer for you. But that is the risk I'm willing to assume. So very good that you brought up. 101 things can go wrong. As I mentioned just now, getting the licensing is not easy. So you can have like set of operations, then you cannot have certain license. Then that's it. You cannot do. At least that time when I research, healthcare is quite protected. So usually foreign come in, set up hospital, they may not have a very good time there. I don't know. Yeah. So yep, it can fail. That means yeah. Like I said, that's why I am. These are the money whereby I can afford to lose. No choice. If you want to play this game, that is the rule of the game. So you cannot have have the cake at eat it. I think I also don't know why they call it this way. So there's a risk that you have to take. Can we tell if they're overreach? Of course, we can tell. We look at the balance sheet. Do the six tests. Desiree, you do the six tests to see whether they're overreach. Can sorry, can nope. Good try. Okay, can so I just want to give you more ideas, more examples, so that hopefully eventually can find your own, and then will be good. You can share the next time. Okay, like for example, Keppel is another one I'm actually paying attention to. Okay, because as we all know, climate change, and they are basically doing things uh, that is to sort of be aligned with the climate change team lah. So eventually, climate change, the way we use energy is going to be very different. There's likely to be more solar. There's likely to be more clean energy. The way the whole city is designed is going to be different. The way recycling, so on and so forth. So basically, the Kappa now is into this business whereby we talk about the new way of living because of climate change. So if you're interested, you can go and read about it. So again, are they going to be successful or not? Nobody knows. But at least there is a reason for them to have a new income. Okay, so that's the main point. Like for example, individual, like I said, if you do uh the same job if you do the same job the last year, okay, don't expect income to increase. But let's say for example this year, I decided to take a new course. I decided to take an MBA. I decided to go into the latest industry, climate change. Yes, then potentially you can increase your income. Correct, right? This is quite clear. So same for a company. So this one, they used to run oil rigs. Okay, so they have hived off their business. They are now very focused. So there is a very clear growth story lah. Also, this is the reason why I see this as a potential growth stock. But so again, that's why I take about 5 years. Um, it's definitely not tomorrow or 1 year later you can see the results, especially things like climate change, so on and so forth. But of course, 5 years later, when the infrastructure is more ready, okay, like I think for EV, for example, you cannot suddenly say that all the diesel car all phase out, all change to EV. Okay, no way lah. You actually take time for things to happen. So that's why even you buy stocks, you have to wait lah. That's where the 5 years come in. Okay. Okay, another example I could give Singapore stock is like iFast. Basically iFast is a fintech company. So down here again from a chairman's statement, what are some of the reasons why their income can still go up? So basically, number one, they have made solid progress as a global digital bank. I think they now have a banking license. So that's quite impressive. From a brokerage firm to actually become like a bank. Okay, become like a bank. Um, so so you can see well-mentioned fintech platform, truly global business model. Okay, so they are also into new services, as you can see, as a Hong Kong growth, deliver e-pension scheme, and they are still developing innovative fintech services. So basically, fintech as a whole, I still see a lot of growth potential. Okay, I think now most of us are still not into crypto yet. Crypto. Personally, I believe crypto. Eventually one day there's some very realistic use. Like for example, I can actually pay money using Bitcoin. Okay, I see that day coming. I see that coming. Like for example, if I want to transfer money to my friend in South America, I transfer via Bitcoin. I do see that day coming. So yep, so the fintech or the what you call that, the digital finance has still a lot of room to grow. And I believe this guy is actually right into it, and they're actually quite aggressive. So again, that is a clear growth story, which is what I am trying to illustrate with all these examples. Okay, a question for Alex Choi. Secure new contract can consider as growth or not? Okay, so you have to be careful. Basically, all companies every day also secure contracts. If companies don't secure contracts, they cannot survive. So what I'm trying to say here is you secure contract in a new area, new business area. Like for example, if you only have been securing contract in Singapore, okay, and you start to secure contract overseas, China, I think there's a potential growth. That means you're expanding the market now. If you just tell me that you secure new contract in Singapore, yeah there is growth but it's not very significant Usually not very significant. So let's say for example, you are a property agent, for example, okay, and you only sell Singapore property. Okay, there is so much you can grow right? There's only so many property in Singapore that you can sell. Singapore property market is in terms of number of agents, it's really so what do you call that? Okay, so developed. So that means for additional work, you're trying to eat into others people's pie, not so easy. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Nelson. So iFast P is 33 times. So yeah, so that's the thing. You have to ask yourself. So basically, if I like the company so much, I think 33 times I may also take the risk. Okay, end of the day, it's the same. Okay, for me, it's like I'll find growth stock, I invest in one. Okay. And if assuming that this is the one that top up, I'm most confident in the growth story, then even 33 times I will buy. So yeah, it's expensive, it's risky. That is the name of the game. So Nelson, thank you so much for pointing out. Yeah, so Donald Trump, Elon Musk, So even before that, I have this friend who what do you call that? He always like to try new things. That day I was quite surprised. He was actually paying for my Starbucks coffee using the Bitcoin credit card. So I was like, whoa, okay. There's such thing as Bitcoin credit card now. So it's like, interesting. Okay. So if you talk about small cap is market cap less than $1 billion. One company I can give example, TalkMed. Now we talked about it last month, TalkMed. Okay. So again, same thing. They are a medical group. They are expanding overseas into China. So you can see here, they have already started operations in China and Hong Kong. They are also okay. They are very specialized into cancer treatment. So they are also putting their money or research in like cell and gene therapy. Okay, biocell innovation, so things like that. So they are not resting on the laurels. So doctors, they're really so busy looking at doctors every day, looking at patients every day. But no, they didn't stop there. They are expanding to China. They are actually researching on new treatment methodology, things like that. So these are the reasons why the company can potentially grow. So but then again, there can be 101 problems along the way. After that, the doctor worked too hard. He himself fall ill or whatever. It can happen. So, yep. To be frank, the success rate is actually not high. Okay, the success rate can be not high. Also, like growth stocks, sometimes you can talk about easily only 30-40% success rate. That means you buy 10, only 3 or 4 can really double. And the rest, some is, yeah, I break even. Okay, some is I lose money. Oh, so a lot of times, don't think that wow so rosy and wow I buy all confirm 100% no. So we just have to accept it. Of course, I always try to improve my capability in finding right stock. Yeah, but I think um even you talk about places like the professionals, if I'm not wrong, let's say the private equity venture funds, venture funds that focus on startups. Okay, their success rate is only 10%. Out of 10 companies, only one of them can be successful, but that one company easily can cover the cost for the other 10. So that is the mindset you need to have. Okay, last example for Singapore is this company called Southern Alliance. I don't want to keep talking about medical. I know I focus on medical. So this company actually focus on iron ore. And iron ore, if you actually read in detail, is the raw material to make steel, as you can see here. Raw material to make steel. So what I understand here is this, after Ukraine, now there's a Ukraine war. Then after that, in the Gaza area, there's a war. So after the war, there is a post-war reconstruction, right? So now they have a lot of building destroyed. There will be a post-war reconstruction. Then when that happens, they actually need to import a lot of steel. There will be a surge in demand. So this is what I believe. Okay, this is what I believe. And of course, the steel price will go up. This company will go up. Okay, so this is what I believe, and that's why I invest. I see this as one of growth stock. No, no, no. Okay, so number one, in Bitcoin. By the way, I am invested in Bitcoin. Very, very, very small portion. That one is just for learning lah. I'm not even there to understand for growth. So now my Bitcoin investment is just for learning purposes. Okay. In terms of growth long term, yeah lah, I do have a bit lah. Okay. Yeah. So the part of me so the part of me saying that I don't want to touch Bitcoin, I think that must be some time back already. If I say that, yeah. How about okay, Alex? Sorry, I don't understand your question. What do you mean by buying up another company? So ComfortDelGro buy another company. Okay. Okay. So like I said, all these are quite subjective lah. So I don't have the info in detail. So, but I'm actually looking more from the business perspective lah. Okay, I'm actually looking more from the overall business perspective. This business, the industry, is it growing? And he them himself, are they doing anything about it? So, yeah, you can actually read more about ComfortDelGro.